Special thanks to Patreon supporter Brick Bros 2016 for making this video possible. Hello ladies and gentlemen, Scared204 here, bringing you another Minecraft World War II tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building a Pantherturm. A Pantherturm was basically a defensive position that was built by Germany, which basically involved putting a Panzer turret on top of a block of concrete. Now it may sound crazy or really weird, but these were actually extremely effective. They proved to be very costly for enemy combatants to take. As you can imagine, there really is not much of a weak spot to this tank. Obviously with the turret, obviously being a Panther turret, already has some pretty good strong armor, some pretty good sloped armor as well, so already pretty protected from a lot of good sized rounds. And then it's enclosed in a block of concrete, so it doesn't have any of the actual, it wouldn't have like a tank body or anything like that exposed. Now, it's a really interesting design and something that, really I didn't even really know about until, I was actually requested to build this. So, really interesting build. There's not really a whole lot of information out there regarding it, but it's basically just a Panther turret over a block of concrete, and inside would be the, basically the mechanisms for them to fire it, seated, and it basically, the inside is just like a standard Panther turret, really. So, there is a few different designs I saw out there for it, some just being a block of concrete enclosed in the ground, and then they enter and exit through the hatches on top of the tank, but there's also some that were kind of built into a bunker-like design that were attached to trenches. Now, the version you can see in front here, I kind of was something I put together to kind of show you guys the possibilities of what you can do with these Panther turrets. Now, if you want to enclose this in the ground, then you can easily do so by basically setting it down in whatever level you want, so probably about one block-ish off the ground, with the concrete sticking up one block above the ground level, and then you can have basically the back of it, with the entrance and exit and all that stuff. So it's overall really cool, and really something you can do really well. If you remember back, I did a tutorial for how to do some trench designs, and you can see here that I kind of incorporated this into a bit of a trench design. So on the back here you have a door, a little entrance that you can actually get into the Panther turret, or into the little bunker and stuff like that. And in this bunker, you could put some, some bunks or something for the crew to sleep in, and also you can put ammunition storage and all that kind of stuff in there as well if you want. But yeah, you have a nice little entranceway, and you can see it's kind of built into a little bit of a hillside here, but you can easily have this on the ground level and then have the trenches running behind it and stuff like that, as you may recall. That trench tutorial, you can refer back to it. But overall, it's a really nice looking build overall. I think it's pretty interesting when you really start to get down and put some details. As you can see here, some sandbags, some barbed wire and stuff like that around it. You really start to get a nice, cool little defensive position. In this tutorial, we'll be building just the standard gun with on top of the block of concrete in the back here, and all those extra little bits doing the sandbags and barbed wire and stuff like that will be something that is just there for inspiration and what you guys can really do with this if you really put some time and a little bit of extra work into it. Anyways, let's go ahead and move into the tutorial for the Pantherturm. Alright guys, so going ahead and moving into the tutorial for the flak term. To get started, we'll be going ahead and working on our first set of layers, which is basically layers 1 through 4, getting this block of concrete established. Now, as you can see, the way I'm building this is I have it basically just kind of above ground entirely. What I would recommend is, obviously, if you are wanting to build this in a location, to make sure that you basically have it built into the ground a bit. So for example, for this turret here, I recommend probably building it this far underground, so you have the grass blocks here, pretty much the ground level right there. And you can kind of get an idea of where to kind of position this. If you really want to, you can have it completely above the ground. That's completely fine, like it is right here for this version here. But that's completely up to you guys. And then back here, you can have a small kind of cutout in the ground that leads down into here, or this could lead into a trench line, or whatever you really want. So again, you can refer back to that, in the beginning there, where I was showing you guys, a little bit of a design of it in like an emplacement, so you guys can kind of maybe look at that and get an idea of what you want to do with it. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get started here. Now, for me, I went ahead and used a mixture of andesite and stone. I think it creates kind of a nice concrete kind of look. You guys can obviously just use stone, just use andesite, whatever you guys want to do. But basically what we're going to do to start off with here is we're going to be building a 7x7 square here. So we have basically a 7x7 square, so that is 6, and then it's going to go back here. like this, and then we have a 7x7 square. Now, again, you can randomize this in with whatever blocks you guys want to use. For the most part, in this tutorial, I'm just going to build it out of stone because it's just a little bit easier to do. But basically, you can just see mixing a little bit of blocks into it kind of creates a nice look to it. So, yeah, from this point here, we're going to go ahead and build this up 1, 2, 3 more blocks up. So we're going to go ahead and go all the way around 3 blocks. So we have basically a total of 4 blocks high for the kind of base here for the flak term. Or sorry, the Pantherturm. So this is going to go all the way around here, just like this, until we have a big box, like so. Now again, the ground level that I had this marked at would be right here. You could, if you want to, go about this level right here, but I recommend kind of a little bit of the concrete on top, kind of exposed there, and you can even go ahead and go as far as taking some stone brick slabs and create a nice kind of smooth transition around it by putting some stone brick slabs down around like that. Not completely necessary, but we're just going to be building it like that. I'm just kind of getting some different ideas for how you can go about structuring this and all that for this build. Now, once you have the square built up and randomized with whatever blocks you guys want, if you are going to have the entrance on the back here, then obviously we can go and build that. So this again would be in a trench line, or maybe have like a little bit of a kind of a small slope cut in the ground that leads to this from, you know, a field or wherever this is stationed at. But basically, to go ahead and get started here is we're going to go ahead and go 1 block from the side here, and we're going to basically build a row of 3 of stone up, and then 1 stone block that comes off on the bottom, stone brick stair on top of both. So you basically get a nice kind of slope here for this section here. We're going to do the same thing over here as well, kind of giving it a bit of a bunker look. So just like that on both sides. And then in this middle section here, we're going to go and take our stone slabs, and we can go and place down a 2x3 kind of door here with stone slabs like this. You can put down some levers like this to create the handle here, some stone buttons for a bit of extra detail around it, and you have yourself basically a very simple little door that you can obviously gain access to the bunker itself, and inside there could be ammunition, bunks, and stuff like that for the crew. I kind of explained that a little bit earlier. Anyways, one option too is if you do have this above ground, like I have over here, so ground level would be about at this level right here. You could go ahead and maybe take some levers and place down some levers like this on the corner blocks, so going all the way around here, and make sure that the levers are flicked upwards. So this is going to go all the way around like that, and we also want to go and go to the middle block on these rows on the side here and place down a lever as well. And we're going to leave the side where we have this entrance and exit set up, but if you are not including that, you can go ahead and just place down barbed wire all the way around. But basically that right there will do it for our first set of layers, 1 through 4. As you can see, we have a nice base established for it, and with that we can go and move on to our next layer, layer 5. So moving into layer 5, one thing I want to cover real quick from the previous layer was that we do want to go and fill this whole section in. So we can fill this all in. If you do have interior, you can go and hollow out the area below the turret, so you can go ahead and fit a bit of an interior there for the turret. But basically you want this filled in right here so that we can build the turret on top of it. For us to go ahead and move into the turret itself, we're going to go ahead and start off by grabbing ourselves some polished andesite. We're going to place down a row of 3 of polished andesite, 1 block from the front here, so whatever direction you want this gun facing. And we then want to place down a row of 3 of stone brick top slabs coming off those polished andesite blocks toward the front. We then want to take our cobblestone walls. We're going to place down a cobblestone wall to both sides of this row of 3 of polished andesite blocks, followed by a second row of 3 of polished andesite across, again followed by a cobblestone wall on both sides. Once that's done, we're going to place down a row of 5 of polished andesite blocks across, followed by another row of 3, and then on both sides of this row of 3, we're going to place down a stone slab full block. We then want to place down a tripwire hook on both sides like this. After that's done, we're going to place down a row of 3 of polished andesite blocks across, cobblestone wall here in both corners like that, and on this block right here in the corner to the right, we're going to place down a stone slab block with a tripwire hook like that for a little bit of a hatch there on the back. When that's done there, we can go ahead and take some cobwebs, and we can place down cobwebs on top of these levers and basically in the space in between here. This is some extra barbed wire just to give the gun a little bit more protection, as you know, if enemy troops were to try to come up on it or whatever, just to kind of give it a little bit more protection. Likely the barbed wire wouldn't do much, but it just adds a little bit more of a fortified kind of look to it as well. And again, if you look back at the beginning of the video, I did like a little bit more of like a wooden post and barbed wire around it and stuff like this. But you know, you can have a couple different options and get some good ideas for how you want to build this Pantherturm. I keep saying Pantherturm, thinking of my flak tower. But anyways, that's going to do it for layer 5. Let's move into layer 6. Alright guys, moving into our next layer, we have layer 6. For layer 6 to go ahead and get started here, we're going to take our stone brick stairs, place a row of 3 on top of those 3 stone brick top slabs in the front here. We're going to place down our item frame on the stone brick stair to the left side, followed by a black wool block in that item frame, so just like that to the left side. When that's done there, we're going to go ahead and grab ourselves a stone brick slab. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7 stone brick slabs going forward. We then want to place down a nether brick slab on the end here, on the side of the nether brick slab, and yeah, basically on the side of the nether brick slab on both sides, we're going to place down a wooden sign, and then we want to go and grab ourselves a iron trapdoor, and we're going to place down an iron trapdoor on the bottom of that nether brick slab in the front there, and also one more iron trapdoor back like that. Going back to this front stone brick slab here, we're going to go and place down a wooden sign on both sides of the first stone brick slab, just like that on both sides there. Going back from this, we're going to go and place down a stone slab full block coming off this stone brick stair to the right side here. We then want to go and take our polished andesite, place down 2 polished andesite blocks over. When that's done, we're going to place down a row of 3 polished andesite blocks across, 2 cobblestone walls here on both ends like that. We then want to take our polished andesite, place down another row of 3 across, stone brick stair on both sides. We're going to place down another row of 3 polished andesite across, stone brick stair again on both sides like that. On the back here, we're going to place down a row of 3 of stone brick stairs across like this, and in the corner spaces here on top of the cobblestone walls, we're going to place down some skeleton skulls here at about a 45-degree angle, just to kind of curve that area out a little bit better. With that all done there, that is going to complete for layer 6. Let's go and move on to our last final layer, layer 7. Alright guys, we've on to layer 7. Layer 7 is pretty straightforward. For layer 7, all we want to do is place down 2 skeleton skulls on top of these 2 stone brick stairs here up in the front. We're then going to place down a stone button on top of this stone slab full block. Going ahead and moving back to this section here, we're going to place down a stone slab on top of this polished andesite block in the left-hand corner, followed by a skeleton skull that's going to go all the way around the stone slab, just like this all the way around. So, just like that, to go ahead and create the little commander's cupola up there on top. And that right there will complete layer 7. And before we go ahead and wrap up this tutorial, I just want to go ahead and kind of show you guys, again, what you can do with this design. Just another different little, aspect to it, designing it, and obviously this right here needs to be adjusted, but you kind of get the general idea here of what you can do. Just kind of gives it a little bit of a nice kind of bunkered down look to it. But of course you could have this filled in and just have the top up here exposed as well. But overall, just kind of gives you guys some ideas on how to do this flak term. It's more of kind of like a, you have the basic idea and just go crazy with it type of design. But hope you guys do enjoy it. At the beginning of the video, or when I was talking about the turret and all that stuff itself, I forgot to mention that this is a Patreon request from Brick Bros 2016, so big thanks to him for making this tutorial possible, and hope you guys do enjoy the design, maybe get some inspiration or some different kind of ideas you guys can do with this, and create some pretty cool little extra defenses into any defensive lines or anything like that you have from World War II. Anyways, that's going to do it for this tutorial. If you guys do end up using this design, I do ask you guys give me proper credit for it. It's me thanking from Assign the Build, link to my channel or this video if this does appear on social media sites. As long as you guys give me credit for it, you're free to use it for whatever projects you guys are working on. Overall, enjoy the build, have fun with it, and that's pretty much it. Anyways, that's going to do it for this video. Thank you guys all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been Gary204, and I'll see you guys next time.